Meta seems to be continuing their bet on mixed reality being the future of the Quest lineup, with the Quest 3S potentially dropping next month, a Quest 4 in 2026, Quest Pro 2 in 2027 was the plan, although it sounds like that may have been shelved in lieu of an extremely light mixed reality headset that would drop in 2027. We just reported to you in the last news that the La Jolla headset that was rumored to be the Pro 2, the one that Meta supposedly partnered up with LG to make, and then LG kind of cooled the deal, and now Boz had said, hey, we can't produce this headset as cheap as we want to, so we're gonna shelve it. And then another report dropping today that maybe instead of shelving it, they're actually replacing this with a different idea, a headset codenamed Puffin with the same target year of 2027, a headset that resembles a bulky pair of glasses but weighs less than 110 grams. A VR style headset due to its pancake lenses and pass-through cameras, but remarkably light and something that could be worn on the everyday. This also working in with reports that we talked about how Ray-Ban owner Luxottica had said that Meta had showed them a future headset design that they wanted to get in Ray-Bans, and they said it was laughably big and would not be fashionable enough to be branded under the Ray-Ban name. Is it really possible for a full mixed reality headset to only weigh 110 grams, where a Quest 3 with none of its straps or facial interface weighs around 400 grams, and of that weight, 70 of it is battery? This sounds like a headset that wouldn't even be part of the Quest lineup, but would be something considered more augmented reality style future headsets that could be worn all day and would not have controllers that use the gaze and pinch input that's similar to what the Apple Vision Pro uses. Could it be that this is the headset that's rumored to be getting checked out next month at Connect for people who get to go there, the extremely futuristic AR headset that Boz has been alluding to again and again in his talks? If this is the case, it definitely excites up the next few years in the industry, especially as it sounds like Quest 4 models that are coming in 2026 would actually be coming in multiple models similar to how we see now Xbox S or X, PS5 Lite and Pro, but still begging the question, if we're about to get the 3S this year, is anything going to launch next year? Because that would be pretty weird for Meta to skip the news cycle for a year and not put out some kind of headset. We'll report to you more on this as it develops, but it's exciting to see if they're backing off on one headset, maybe they're making something totally different and pivoting. Although it's almost time for a new upcoming games list for the month of September, even though August is almost over, games are still releasing, and one that just came out of early release and did its full release is Pets and Stuff. From the same company that brought us Shaven Stuff, Titans Clinic, comes their take on being a groomer or even a veterinarian. This is an animal care simulator for people who want a casual game to play in, but it offers different locations, a progression system to actually upgrade the clinic that you're working with the pets in, and not only is there grooming tools, combs, trimmers, but there's even medicines, ointments, and a little taste of their dental game. You actually have toothbrushes here to help take care of the pets. Because it was an early release, not full release, the game already has over 350 ratings, giving this thing near a perfect 5-star rating. 89% 5 stars, with people saying it's another great game from a promising up-and-coming developer. People saying it's an awesome game, it's just cute and entertaining, and it's great to put new people in VR into it. The game's only $14.99, so check it out if you want something cute and relaxing. I've actually got a bunch of Oculus credit I have to use up by the end of the year, so I tell you what, the first 5 people who comment Pets and Stuff down in the comments down below, I'll hook up with you on the app. We have to follow each other. Unfortunately, they made it harder now to actually gift games, but I'll gift it to 5 people too while I'm at it. Thanks to Pets and Stuff for sponsoring this week's news, and congrats to them on their full release of another game that people are giving 5 stars. We've talked multiple times about what Meta is hoping to do in the AR glasses realm, but Snapchat is also talking about revealing theirs next month, the 5th generation of the Spectacles AR glasses on September 17th too, just a week before Meta Connect. It was only the last generation, the 4th gen of these, that got proper AR capabilities, looking like some boxy old 3D glasses or some sort of retro wear. Snap's glasses don't look like they're going to be a major improvement, but saying that they will have an improved field of view and battery life, which would be a big step up from the 26.3 degree diagonal field of view and the 30-minute battery life. As someone who has tried multiple sets of AR glasses now, I will say field of view is probably the biggest limiting feature, because the problem is you don't realize in a VR headset it may only have a 90-degree field of view, but that's everything you can see, so you don't really notice that that field of view is as limiting, where if you're in a headset that lets you actually see with a more normal human field of view of near 220 degrees, even 120 degree field of view in an AR headset is not going to look that great, because you're still going to see the real world around it and see where those holograms end and break that immersion completely. Are you very excited about the possibility of AR glasses? Do you think this future where people are wearing these things all day, every day, they don't really need phones anymore, is a real possibility, or are we so deeply embedded and connected to our phones that these things may not actually take off? We talk a lot on the channel here about the biggest games, the top games, the best rated games, but there is one game on the Quest store that is purposely trying to be the worst possible game. And in a funny set of events, this game was able to be published on App Lab as a test to see how bad they would allow something on App Lab to be, and now that App Lab has been dissolved, it has been moved over to the main Quest store. The Unity Cube on Quest, basically a cube, a skybox, and avatar hands is all it is. And if you follow the VR scene, you may recognize the name of the developer. Tony, aka Scarred Ghost, actually created this app, someone that I've actually, I believe, followed on Twitter for years. And although the app is free and meant to be terrible as the internet does, it has given it over 170 ratings and a 4.5-star rating now. 84% of those are 5-star, with people being hilarious in the comments saying it's the reason they got VR. It's an unmistakably AAA experience, amazing, and people in the 1-star section not all getting the joke, saying all you do is stare at a cube. It's total BS. At least other people getting the trolling here. A great joke, and the way the events played out was just something funny I thought you all might enjoy. I'll leave a link just in case you want to download the app and check it out, but you're literally going to be staring at a cube, and you'll probably see this pop up in one of our free games lists for sure. Props to Scarred Ghost for making this. If you weren't already worried that someone was watching you through the cameras on your Quest, we talked about how one developer found a sneaky and intricate way to get access, while another developer has found an even easier way to get access to your Quest 3's pass-through cameras. The original technique had you going into the casting website, having to put in your info, but now this new one doesn't even require that login. It just requires an API on the Quest and user-granted permission with that. But in theory, this is something, I mean, if this was paired in with some sort of app, how many of us really look closely when we grant permissions? And then people could see through the pass-through cameras. As I said before, I pretty much assume anytime I have a camera on my phone, headset, whatever I'm seeing, someone else could be seeing. But is this something that surprises or worries you and makes you think differently about how you'll treat your pass-through? We've been talking about the Meta Store recently in the game sales and whether some people get better sales than others or whether they are personalized. And an email that went out strangely acting like I was part of Quest Plus, even though I don't think I ever signed up for it and I've never gotten a free game out of it, did confirm that you can get additional discounts on games for being part of Quest Plus. This helps to just settle the debate of whether Quest Plus users get extra sales or more discounts, and this might be just because I got a Quest 3 and they were giving away 6 months of Quest Plus free, but I don't remember ever signing up for it, so I was surprised maybe they just sent me the email even though I don't see these additional discounts. So for those of you out there in the comments who are asking about this, definitely looks like there is an opportunity to get extra sales. Still doesn't mean I would say Quest Plus is worth it for most people. In case you don't know what it is, monthly subscription, you get a couple free games a month as long as you keep that subscription, but you also get a backlog to a whole bunch of other games. The problem is most of the games are games that have been out a while, and so if you already owned a headset, it's likely that you already own a lot of these games like I do. But if you were brand new to VR, you just got a headset, it could be worth it for you for a while just to be able to play through a lot of these games. But ultimately, the biggest problem is just like with PlayStation Plus or something, the minute you unsubscribe, you lose access to that whole library, so you may find yourself just locked in forever. I wouldn't say those sales make it any more worth it, but if it's something you'd been debating, if you're really new to VR, maybe look into it. I'll leave a link down below in case you're interested in that. We were gone last week, so we're still catching up on the news, but some of you in the comments have been telling me about how Meta decided to kill the Spark platform, and so we wanted to bring it up and talk a little bit more about it here. The Spark platform allowed third parties to actually build AR effects, and enough so that there were people in the community that actually relied on this completely for their jobs. It was a bit of a surprise move when Meta just suddenly announced that they were going to be shutting it down effective January 14th of next year, and anything that anyone had created will no longer be available for use then. A lot of people in the community were very confused as to why this was, because as they were making money off of it, it seemed like this was a viable source of income. But as we've seen Meta pushing more towards their AI side, maybe they're just cutting more and more divisions. We reported before that they did cut back and lay off a lot. They've closed studios in the VR side. It's also possible that if there is some replacement or something else coming, we'll find out more about that at Meta Connect here in a couple weeks. But it's always a sad day when people lose their jobs and find out about it from a Facebook post of all things. Meta Horizon Worlds is a social app similar to VR Chat or Rec Room, but it's Meta's own app, and for a long time it was only available in the US, and it was actually a refuge for a lot of adults who wanted an app like that that wasn't overrun with as many kids as Rec Room or VR Chat was. Well, now Meta Horizon Worlds is officially welcoming preteens into their ecosystem. Although if you've been in Meta Horizon Worlds enough, you know there was already kids all throughout it, but now Meta is allowing parents the ability to improve individual contacts that their preteens can chat with inside of Horizon Worlds, specific experiences in Horizon Worlds that parents can also approve, and this going along with Meta's decision a while back where they said they needed to up their retention rates and they wanted to target younger and younger audiences to help do that. VR should be available for all people that it is safe to experience it for, although the problem is curating the people and the experiences that can be done in these types of things, it really verges on the bigger discussion of the entire gaming world and what games kids should and shouldn't be allowed in, what parental controls there are. So I'm curious for you out there. If you spend time in these apps, how do you feel about these moves? If you are a parent, do you let your kid play social VR at all? And do you feel VR is fine for all ages, or do you still kind of abide by that 12 or 13 hard stop we saw when VR first started coming out, where different headsets all had those age limits on there? Gorilla Tag, since it has come on the scene, has been one of the biggest games in the world of VR. It's even pushed into mainstream with kids out there wanting plushies from it. I've never even played the game. Well, now Gorilla Tag developer is revealing the first glimpse of their new game in what looks to be a wide open world on a space station with Gorilla Tag style locomotion, but all different things to do, from a game that looks like Rocket League to obstacle courses. In Orion Drift, the space station can have up to 200 players roaming simultaneously. I hope they have really good proximity-based chat so you don't have to hear 200 people screaming in your ear at the same time. But all kinds of other things show up in the trailer: golf course, pickleball courts. It actually reminds me a lot of when you see Ready Player One in the beginning. They're launching through space and showing the different worlds people can hang out in. What if there is a future here where Gorilla Tag developers actually are the ones that start the OASIS when everyone else has been trying so hard? It's possible. There's a lot of other big game news that came out this week, especially with Gamescom happening next week where we were there. We'll have a full video talking about a lot of what we learned and what we did there, but a couple quick updates now. Obviously, Batman got another trailer, and we know that it's coming out in October. Behemoth finally went live for pre-orders for the price of $40 and a date of November 14th for launching Behemoth. The Alien Rogue Incursion game, December 19th. Hitman 3 for the Quest 3, the redesign launching very soon, September 5th, and some big changes to NFL Pro Era with a new live service model. We'll go more in depth with all this in that Gamescom summary video, so watch out for that. And we got to play some things there too that we'll hopefully get to talk about you in the coming months. But thank you once again. You've supported this channel for so long now. Amazing things are happening. The fact that we went to Germany, first international trip, to try out all these VR games and give feedback to the studios about them, and everything else you've done for me. I can't tell you how much I appreciate all of you showing up all the time and being a part of this community. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in another reality.